Alright, welcome back to the Blender 3 Docwalk. This document is Viewpoint. We've already gone over everything here, but just for consistency's sake, we're just going to cruise through it all really quickly. So let's jump right in. Alright, to start off, Blender uses a right-angled Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian coordinates were originally invented, or I guess developed by René Descartes. Bit of, interesting something there. If you're a math person, you might or might not already know that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to turn on my Z-axis so we can see it, because we're going to be talking about that. And something to note with our shortcuts, right? 1, 3, and 7, right? 1, 3, and 7. 7 is top view, 1 is front view, and 3 is the right view. Do note that 3, when we tap 3, notice we are looking at positive x. We are looking down from the positive x end of x towards the origin of the 3D grid, right? If we tap 7, we are looking down from the positive z direction down towards the origin. However, if we tap 1, note that we are looking down from the negative y direction. So even though this is front, it is from the negative y direction. Just, I don't know, get that in your mind, because it can lead to a little confusion there. All right, so, right, top is 7, positive z. Front is 1, negative y. Right is 3, positive x. Now, if we want to reverse it, we've got 7 is top, Control 7 is bottom, 1 is front, Control 1 is back, 3 is right, Control 3 is left. Highly recommend that you memorize these. Lastly, as we have gone over previously, if we select an object and rotate it, we all know or should know by now if you've been watching this in sequence, that each cube has its own coordinate system. Or not each cube, each object, okay? Every object that you can put in your 3D scene has its own local coordinates. Now, up here you can see we've got global coordinates, or transform according to the global coordinates, local and normal. If we hop on over here down to Viewport Display, we can turn on the axes of the selected item, and there we can now see Y, X, and Z. Okay, so even though we have the global layout, we've got global Z, red is X, Y is green. Our shortcuts can also apply to the selected object. Here I'm going to rotate it a little bit more so its coordinates are kind of facing up a little more upward. Alright, but our cube in the center is not in alignment with the global coordinate system. So if we want to align our view to the selected item, we want to use Shift as a modifier for our viewpoint alignment. So one more time, 7 is global top, Control 7 is global bottom. 1 is global front, Control 1 is global back. 3 is global right, Control 3 is global left. But if we select the cube, it is selected. I'm going to use Shift 7, and that is cube top. Control Shift 7 is cube bottom. Shift 1 is cube front, Control Shift 1 is cube back. Shift 3 is cube right, or right positive X side of the cube, and Control Shift 3 is the negative X side of the cube's X-axis. And further, this goes for most selectable things. Most data blocks, most objects in your 3D scene have its own coordinate system, have its own orientation, right? So if we go into Edit, and we're not going to get fancy and use a sphere like we did last time, but let's use this guy here. I'm going to tap 3 again for face select. Okay, remember we've got vertices, edges, and face. So 1 for vertices, 2 for edges, 3 for face, and this is not your numpad. These are the numbers across the top of your keyboard, your number keys, or your number row, the top number row. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now I've got face select going over here. So I'm going to select the face of this cube. All right. And actually, let's get we're all upside down in Skiwampus here. Whatever, guy. There we go. Zoom in a bit. Okay. That feels much. Oops. That feels much better. All right. So we've got the X side selected, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that has anything to do with the face itself, with the orientation of the face. So if we select our transform gizmo over here, right, and whoops, and we kind of take a look at that, you'll notice that the transform gizmo, that its axes are aligned globally. Okay, but we want the transform gizmo to tell us about the axes, the orientation, alignment of the face itself. So we're going to go up to global, and we're going to come down to normal. Now, that is telling us what's going on with the face. All right. Okay. So, yeah, probably shouldn't have done that. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Now, because we have that face selected, those same shortcuts can align us to that face in the same sort of way. So I'm going to shift 1, and that is giving me the front-ish, right, of that, or rather, I guess in this context, it's simply the negative y-axis. We're looking down at the negative y-axis into the normal of the face. If we hit tab 7, shift 7, now we're looking directly down at the face. If we do control shift 7, we're looking up at what would be the bottom of the face, the inside of that face. And so, right, 1 is, why I keep doing that. Shift 1 is the negative y, from the negative y direction of the face's normals orientation, right? And then shift control y would be the other side. Shift 3 would be, right, the positive x-axis, and shift control 3 would be from the negative side of the normal's x-axis. But yeah, I recommend I recommend, giving it a shot, playing around with it, getting used to the axes, how they all do their thing. And that is it for this. The documentation mentions Alt middle mouse button shortcut for performing similar operations, and I have found that does not work for me. So, and I haven't done any modifications to this. Remember, this is a totally separate install from the install that I personally use. This is the run from one file kind of install. So yeah, everything with this is totally all default. So I don't know. So I'm holding Alt down, middle mouse button, and that's scrubbing. I'm scrubbing the timeline. So I don't know, whether that's an old something that's eventually going to be removed from the documentation or not, but I just thought I would mention that because it is there, and I guess I would be somewhat remiss if I did not mention it. All right, so that was the Viewpoint document. That was a very quick review of the coordinate system and of the alignment shortcuts for the coordinate system. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time when we talk about view regions. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.